We're Gen Z and we do not work past 5 p.m.
Use all of our PTO and we always take our lunch break.
Shout out to Gen Z in the workplace. Y'all are bold as fuck.
I'm a Gen Z in corporate, of course. I'm not going to that meeting that's during my lunch. Sorry. I'm a Gen Z in corporate, of course. The screen is hitting the keyboard at 5 o'clock on the dot.
Today, we are crashing out on corporate. I'm crashing out. I'm losing my mind because I literally, seriously, I can't do this no more. I be literally, all right, let me give y'all a little background. I called this guy my uncle. I known him in the church for a long time, and I sent him a voice message maybe a month ago, and I was like crashing out on him and being like, I don't know how y'all do this all y'all lives. Like, y'all work for 50 plus years, retired, then y'all get to live life. And I'm like, bro, I can't do this. Like, I'm not depressed at home, but going to work makes me depressed. Going to work has put me in a way that I just can't do it anymore. I go to work and I think about how I need to get off of work. I've been watching this show also called Severance, where the guy goes to work, basically his personality shuts off and the work personality comes on, and then it's like he blinks an eye and then he's off work. Literally, I wish I could do that because I don't think I can do this no more. Working is really killing me, and I think it's one of those things that I've been seeing all over TikTok. Like, Gen Z hates corporate America. We hate it. Like, you literally go to school all your life, graduate college, start working, and you're in a job at a desk for 9 hours a day. I get up 6 a.m., go to work by 7:30. I can get off a little earlier than everybody else because we're supposed to work 9 to 6. So I work 7 to 4, 4:30. I just can't do it no more. I know I keep saying this and it sounds like I'm complaining. I love the life I live, but if I needed to downsize because I can't do this work thing no more, I definitely have been thinking about doing it for next year. And I'm just in a place where I feel like I'm a robot. I talk about it a lot in all my other videos, but I just feel like I'm just coming home, going to sleep, waking up, working, coming home, going to sleep, waking up, working. And literally I found out through the TikTok, like, this girl was like, I'm living my life through weekends.
If you find yourself constantly living for the weekends, this is your wake-up call to rethink where you're at. If you wake up and you're dreading Monday through Friday, you're just praying for Saturday to come, that is not a way to live your life. And
ever since I saw that TikTok, it dawned on me that literally when you're in corporate America, you look forward to the weekend so much that when the weekend comes, it goes away. That was so crazy and scary to me because I realized I do the same thing. Monday's here, I'm like, oh my God, it's Monday, and then Friday I'm up. Then Sunday, I'm back down here. It's like when your blood sugar go up and down, like, bruh, how are y'all doing this? Literally you. Like, I see that my audience is like age range from 24 all the way to like 60. And I'm like, bruh, 60-year-olds be watching me? But nah, never mind that. But literally, how do y'all do this? Everybody in like the 30 plus group, I need y'all to comment and like, let me know, like, how do y'all feel about this corporate thing? Cause y'all got what? If you 30 plus, y'all got about 6-7 years on me. Like, this is a game that I don't want to play no more. Like, I'm literally working to pay bills. Like, this is the stuff my mama used to be talking about when I was a kid. And now that I'm living this reality, I was literally talking to my coworker last night. We were talking about how our parents had us at a young age. My mom had me when she was 18. So we're like, well, 18 years apart, duh. And I just always talk to my mom and be like, I don't know how you did this with the kid working. Not even, like, when my mom was my age, she was not even making nowhere near what I make. And she was taking care of a kid, then 2 years later she had another kid, and I'm like, bruh, how do you do this without wanting to kill yourself? That sounds bad because I know shit like that does happen, but it's just a cycle that never ends. And I'm just like, when does this end? When is my breaking point going to be? Because it's definitely coming very soon. Before I get into these work stories, I want to answer a few questions that I put on my Instagram. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram because I always ask questions, and on my community posts, I ask questions, but nobody comments. So I got 2 comments. So my boy Josh said, talk about office politics and culture maybe. The 9-to-5 office life isn't as shiny as they make it. It's not shiny at all. It's not glamorous at all. Like, let's talk about the pros of going to work. So pros, I get money. I get bonuses. I get to do what I went to college for, and I love what I do. I'm a graphic designer, and I design like signs. I design graphics for walls, and I get to make anything I put my mind to, which is great. I love it. That's a positive. I've met so many great people in the office that I work in. I don't love each and every one of them, but I love most of them. And that's another pro. Like, and then my work culture is so great. We do happy hours every Thursday. We all go out and hang out sometimes. Some coworkers I did get a little bit too close to. I squashed it, but we can get in that story another time if y'all want it. You get to do fun things sometimes. I know not every job is like my job. My job is very different. We are close with our coworkers. We also have outings. We also go to bars together. We do happy hours every Thursday. When I first got there, I was like, this is the life. All of my friends in college who got jobs was like, oh, your job is amazing. If they're ever opening, let me know. And that's something I really do like about my job. Now, the cons of going to work is, of course, you got to do it every day. You have to deal with everybody's attitudes. Like, you know, in college, you can walk away and leave somebody alone, but when you're actually in a field where you got to make money to work with people, dealing with people's attitudes suck. And it's like throughout your life, you deal with different attitudes, of course, relationships, friendships, but it's like you can get over that. But when there's somebody in that office that you don't like and you have to work with them and they piss you off every time you work with them and press that button, woo, Jesus, I'd be like, you got to take the wheel, because I'm a totally different person on just about everywhere that I need to go. Like, YouTube, this is me 24/7, me around my friends. It took me a while to get this comfortable on YouTube. But when I'm at work, I'm literally like, my first day at work, I asked my boss, can I go to the bathroom? And I call her ma'am, and she was like, don't call me ma'am. Like, you don't have to do that. Because I literally forget that I'm an adult. But working is just work culture. The fun things are fun and they're positive and they're good. But when it gets to those bad sides, and the only bad side to corporate is the cycle of coming in every day, dealing with other people's attitudes, and the amount of projects that build up on you that you have to get done by a deadline. That is the work culture that I hate, because there's some projects that take months and there's some that should take 2 days, and then it's like, why are you going over 2 days when your allotted time was 2 days, and then you have to double down on it and do stuff. And my job isn't one of those jobs that expect you or ask you to take work home unless it's necessary, but I don't. I tell them, like, I'm not doing this at home. I do enough work at work where I shouldn't be doing anything at home. And that's something I really had to double down on myself about, because it's like, I could come home and work, but I'm not doing that. Especially, I had an old coworker, like, she had kids, bruh, and it's like, she would come to the office very early and she would go home and still be working till like 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. And it's like, bro, that is something I told myself when I started corporate, I would not be doing anything like that. Another one of my homeboys, Mikey, type, this is not in corporate, but how is your process getting into the job and role you are in today? Literally, my last semester of college, it started in like September. I finished my portfolio, finished my resume, did all of that by the end of September. Between October and December, I put in about, literally on LinkedIn, just auto applying, maybe 500 to 800 applications. That whole time I only did 3 interviews, didn't get 2 of them, and then I got the job I got today. And literally, I graduated and I was crying because my mom was like, gotta get out of this house, I don't know where you're going. And I was just crying all day, like I didn't even want to eat graduation food because I was depressed. I didn't know what I was going to do from there. But literally on my way to the restaurant to eat, they called me and said, you got the job. And I picked up everything that I had from my college dorm and moved straight here. Haven't looked back since then. That's a little bit of background of, that's a lot of background of where I'm at today. But let's talk about these work stories. Something that I realized when I first started working corporate is, again, you have a lot of people you got to deal with. This shit is not like college. This shit is not like high school, and it's not like middle school, and it's not like elementary school or being with family and friends. You have to realize something I'm learning at the age of 24. I've been to corporate for about a year and a half now. Everybody in that office is not your friend. Even your friend that you think your friend is not your friend. We are all there to get a check. Now, what you do with those people outside of work is what you do, but in the office, it's every man for themselves. If you fuck up, they gonna let you know that you fucked up. And I always try to be the most perfectionist, get things done in the office, because that is definitely what I need to do to get my check. I do dibble and dabble, but all that yap, I'm not doing that in the office, bro. Like, I had a phase where I was just quiet in the office. That's why I need to talk to y'all. When I first got to this job, quiet as a mouse. Like, I wouldn't talk to nobody. I would barely go to events, and I would barely like just socialize. And then I had my 3-month review with my boss, and she was saying basically like, you have to come out your shell. Like, people want to know you and get to know you. And I didn't realize that corporate is actually a game. And what I mean by a game is, if you're an introvert, you don't socialize, you don't ask people, you don't say say good morning, how was your weekend and stuff like that, you're gonna get cut. Literally, I had a coworker, and overall I really think this coworker got toasted because they weren't really into the social aspect of the job. And I really think that to the bottom of my heart today. And over the course of time, I started going to happy hours. I started going out with the team. I started texting people, good morning, how was your weekend? And it's so crazy because I used to come into work and be like, hey, do you have this file? I need to do this file to get started. And people would literally stop me and be like, first off, how was your weekend? How was your day? Corporate, you have to have that small talk. If you can't do small talk, I wouldn't say don't go into corporate because every job is the same way. But if you can't do small talk, you need to learn it now, because I had to learn small talk. Everybody likes small talk for some odd reason. And it's so crazy to me because I'm like, what? Why? I don't care about your weekend, Melinda. I don't. I don't. But I learned that you have to care enough so you can not get what you need, but make those friends and make those connections to keep the fire off your ass. I did not learn this. Like, I had a talk with my boss because I felt like I wasn't corporate enough, if you know what I mean. Like, honestly, now I feel like I'm the what do you call that? The social hire? The personality hire. I feel like I'm the personality hire. So since the beginning, I always stayed true to myself at work. I do act like the upscale, like I said earlier, like yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know, I do act like that, but I be at work, I be saying nah, I be saying bet, all the little slang. I do that at work because that's just my personality. People know. I remember one time I told my coworker, let me do something. I said, all right, bet. She was like, what are we betting on? And I was like, whoa, you're old. First off, you're old. And I'm the youngest at my firm. In my area, I was 22 when I got hired. Damn, I was 22 when I got hired? Nigga, you're old. But yeah, I was 22 when I got hired, and now I've made friends with the older people. Like, everybody else is like 28 and up. So I always pick on this one guy, and I'm like, you're old, bro. Like, you don't know anything. You're old. We always bicker. So you do have to make your little friends, your work friends, keep it work friendly, because I let something go longer than work friendly, and it shouldn't have went that long. But definitely be true to yourself when it comes to corporate. You shouldn't have to act a certain way, but still be professional. Like, all right, bet. I be saying stuff like that. Or, what's up, y'all boys? And I be like, my boss asked me something, I'll be like, nah, I ain't do that. And then I noticed in the beginning, like, when me and her had the conversation, I was like, I know I don't talk corporate-y or proper, but I just want to make sure, am I doing okay? She was like, no, Jamie, you're fine. You don't have to worry about doing all of that. And I was like, thank God, because I literally, every time I say nah or yo, like, my boss called me one day and I was like, yo, and then they all just laugh, and I'm like, why are y'all laughing? But I'm learning, like, in these new age companies and Gen Z becoming a part of the workforce, that sometimes you do not have to change for a job. The job will adapt to you. So just keep that in mind when you're entering the workforce. Now let's get into this little story. Sometimes you're gonna go to work and you're gonna talk to your boss, and there's gonna be somebody that you really just don't work well with. You just don't click with them. No matter how good of a person they are, the small talks y'all have, when it comes to working together, y'all just don't work together. And I thought that was fine. Like, I told my boss in my year review, I can't work with this person. We just bump heads every time we work. And it was cool. And then for a year, I never worked with them. But recently, I've had to work with them, and great person, great personality, great stories. But when it comes to getting this project done, woo! Jesus, I just can't do it no more. I just don't understand, why don't people think about things in the same way, in the same manner to get shit done. And that just is so mind-boggling to me, that sometimes people are just not on top of their shit. You're gonna meet a lot of people that just can't catch up. Like, I'm always up here and they're always here, and it's just like, bruh, please just get your shit together. And this person is old. Like, you've been doing this corporate shit for 20 years. What's going on? And I'm just learning now in my life that you have to adapt to different work styles and adapt to people that you don't even know. And that is just so crazy to me, because I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out, bruh. And I just wanted to come in here, like, with every video and get my thoughts out, even if it makes no sense. I hope it touches one person and somebody could just give me your corporate stories, give me your advice. Tell me when your first year at your corporate job. Like, I want to know the stories. I want to listen to the stories. I want to read them, and I just want to know that experience, because graduating college and starting work the next day is so crazy. Starting a corporate job is so crazy, and then just learning the ins and outs of corporate hacks, how to deal with people, like that's just a whole book and lesson on itself. Definitely drop some advice, drop some stories. This is Jamie on. Make sure y'all join the army, and I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next video. But yeah, that's my corporate experience.